learning outcomes. After studying this module, you will be able to, number one, know about the concept of central tendency. Number two, understand the meaning of means, median and mode. 3. Understand the application of different measures of central tendency. 4th, know the differences between mean, median and mode. Introduction. A measure of central tendency is a single value that attempts to describe a set of data by identifying the central position within that set of data. As such, measures of central tendency are sometimes called measures of central location. They are also classed as summary statistics. The mean, often called the average, is most likely the measure of central tendency that you are most familiar with, but there are others such as the median and the mode. The mean, median and mode are all valid measures of central tendency, but under different conditions, some measures of central tendency become more appropriate to use than others. In the following sections, we will look at the mean, mode and median and learn how to calculate them and understand what conditions they are most appropriate to be used.
Now let us look at the various measures of central tendencies. The measures of central tendency or measures of location used in practice are: number 1, arithmetic mean; number 2, median; number 3, mode; number 4, geometric mean; and number 5, harmonic mean. We will take up each one of them in detail. Let us begin with arithmetic mean. Arithmetic mean refers to the average of the given set of observations. It is the sum of the observations of the sample divided by the size of the sample. For instance, the arithmetic mean of 5 observations, 5, 8, 15, 20 and 32 is given by summing these observations divided by sample size, which is 5. So we have 5 plus 8 plus 15 plus 20 plus 32 divided by 5, which gives an arithmetic mean of 16. Similarly, for n observations, the arithmetic mean can be given by x bar is equal to summation x upon n, where x refers to the observation and n refers to the total sample size. It is the only measure of central tendency that gives equal representation to all the values. In case of frequency distribution, the arithmetic mean is given by the expression x bar is equal to summation f into x upon n, where f refers to the frequency. Now let us suppose we take a sample of 5 newly born and measure their hemoglobin levels as shown in the table. Now, from this data, we can calculate the mean hemoglobin level of the sample as summation fx upon n, where the frequency turns out to be 1. So we have 17 plus 18 plus 22 plus 23 plus 15 divided by 5, which gives a value of 19. Now, in case of continuous distribution, the mean can be calculated by taking the mid values of the respective groups as x, that is the observation. The mid values are multiplied with the corresponding frequencies of the group to find summation fx, and thereafter summation fx is divided by summation f to get the arithmetic mean, that is x bar. Now let us suppose in a class of 20 students, the following data regarding the marks obtained by student in a forensic criminology case test is calculated. We have marks in one column, that is x, our observation, number of students obtaining that marks given by f, that is the frequency, and fx. So we can calculate fx by multiplying x into f, which in all gives summation fx as 146. And from the middlemost column, that is the number of students, we can calculate summation frequency as 20. So x bar, that is the arithmetic mean, is obtained as 146 upon 20, giving a value of 7.3. Further, for the convenience of calculations, arithmetic mean can be computed using the step deviation method, whereby deviations d of values of x from any arbitrary value a are taken into consideration such that the formula for the arithmetic mean becomes x bar is equal to a plus h summation ft upon capital N. Now, where a refers to the arbitrary value, d refers to the deviation and is calculated as x minus a upon h, where h is the common difference of the classes and capital N is nothing but summation f, that is the summation frequency. Now let us look at the other central tendency measure, that is median. Median is the middle value in an ordered set of values below and above which there is an equal number of values. As defined by L.R. Conner, the median is that value of the variable which divides the group into two parts. One part comprising all the values greater and the other all the values less than the median. It is the value that occupies the unique central position in a sample when arranged in a particular manner, largest to smallest or vice versa. Now let us see how one can compute median. In case of ungrouped data, when the number of observations is odd, the median is taken as the middle value after the observations have been arranged. However, when the number of observations is even, there is no single observation that occupies the unique central position, but there are two values that together fall in the central position, and as such, for finding out the median of such observations, the two central values need to be averaged. So mathematically, if the number of observations is an odd number, that is if n is odd, median is equal to n plus 1 by 2th observation. And if n is even, then median is taken as average of n by 2th and n by 2 plus 1th observation. In case of frequency distribution, this median is calculated as capital N plus 1 upon 2th observation, where capital N is taken as summation f, that is summation frequency. In this case, we find out the cumulative values, the values of n by 2, and then the corresponding values in the cumulative frequency just greater than the value of n by 2 is the median value of the given distribution. In case of continuous frequency distribution, median is given as L plus h by f into capital N by 2 minus c, where L is the lower limit of the median class, f represents the frequency of the median class, h represents the width of the median class, and capital N refers to summation f, that is summation frequency, and capital C over here refers to cumulative frequency of the class preceding the median class. The class containing the cumulative frequency just greater than n by 2 is the median class. Now, let us look at this example where we have in one column weight in kilograms and number of students in the other column. Over here, capital N is equal to the sum of the number of students, that is 2 plus 5 plus 7 plus 8 plus 13 plus 26 plus 6 plus 3, which gives in all a total of 70, which is an even number, and weights are arranged in ascending order. So we can prepare cumulative frequency table. In the first column, we have weights in kilogram in ascending order. In the second column, we have number of students corresponding to respective weights. And in the third column, we have cumulative frequency. Since n is even, so the median will have a mean of n by 2th and n by 2 plus 1th observations, that is 35 and 36th observations. Now, if we look back at the table, we see that the 35th observation, that is the cumulative frequency 35th, corresponds to observation 44 and 36th observation corresponds to value 45. So median is taken as 44 plus 45 divided by 2, which gives a value of 44.5. That is the middle value of n by 2th and n by 2 plus 1th observation. Median, being a positional average, is not at all affected by the extreme values in a given distribution. However, the same fact, that is the positional characteristic of median, is also its limitation. Being positional average, it does not consider the exact magnitude of the observations. Now let us look at some of the merits and demerits of median measurements. Merits. Simplicity. It is very easy to calculate and is readily understood. Unaffected by extreme values. Median is not affected by the extreme values. It is independent of the range of series. Graphic measurement. Median can be measured graphically also. Qualitative suitability. Median serves as the most appropriate average to deal with qualitative data. Certainty. Median value is always certain and specific value in the series. Typical observations. Median is often used to convey the typical observation. It is primarily affected by the number of observations rather than their size. Now let us look at the demerits. Median suffers from the following limitations. Number 1, lacks representativeness. Median does not represent the measure of such series of which different values are wide apart from each other. Erratic. Median is erratic if the number of items is small. Incapable of algebraic treatment. Median is incapable of further algebraic treatment. Effect of fluctuations. Median is very much affected by the sampling fluctuations. With this, now let us move to the third central tendency measurement, that is mode. Mode is the value the occurrence of which is more frequent. It is the value around which the observations are clustered in a given distribution. In case of frequency distribution, it is the value of the variable that has the highest frequency. In case of continuous frequency distribution, the value of the mode is computed using the following interpolation formula. Mode is equal to L plus H F1 minus F0 upon F1 minus F0 minus F2 minus F1, where L refers to the lower limit of the modal class, F1 frequency of the modal class, F0 frequency of the class preceding the modal class, F2 frequency of the class succeeding the modal class, and H the width of the modal class. The modal class is the class corresponding to the maximum frequency. Now let us take the example where in one column we have weight of a child and in the other column we have number of children. Now for this, the mode is given by the expression. We have the value for L, that is the lower limit of the modal class, 11, F1 is 8, F0 is 7, and F2 comes out to be 3, and the width of the modal class is 5. So substituting the relevant values, we get the value of mode as 11.83. Now with this, now let us go to the next measure of central tendency, that is geometric mean. Sometimes the variables that we want to study are not in simple numbers. They may be in logarithm or ratios. In this case, we cannot find mean by using the method of arithmetic mean even after transforming the numbers. So, for this type of study, we use the method of mean that is known as geometric mean. Geometric mean is computed as GM is equals to anti-log 1 upon n summation log y. Now, since the addition of logarithms is equivalent to multiplication of their anti-logarithms, it can be written as GM is equal to n under root into y1 into y2 into y3 till yn. Similarly, we have another method which is harmonic mean. The reciprocal of arithmetic mean is known as harmonic mean. If x1, x2, xn is a given set of n observations, then their harmonic mean is given by the expression hm is equals to n, that is the sample size, upon, that is divided by summation 1 upon x. Now let us look at the relationship between mean, mode and median. There exists a unique relationship between these three measures of central tendency. This relationship depends upon the type of distribution. If the distribution is symmetrical, all the three measures would coincide, as can be seen from the diagram. However, in asymmetrical distributions or skewed distributions, the distance between the mean and median is about 1/3 of the distance between the mean and mode. Karl Pearson has expressed this relationship as mode is equals to mean minus 3 into mean minus median. This can also be expressed as mode is equals to 3 median minus 2 mean. It can also be interpreted that the median is closer to mean than the mode. For a positively skewed distribution, the distribution skewed to the right as shown in the figure, the relationship is as follows: mean greater than median greater than mode. For a negatively skewed distribution, that is the distribution skewed to the left, as shown, the relationship is like mode greater than median greater than mean. Now with this, now let us look at the relation between arithmetic mean, geometric mean and harmonic mean. The arithmetic mean, geometric mean and the harmonic mean of a series of n observations are connected by the relation arithmetic mean greater than equal to geometric mean, which is greater than equal to harmonic mean. Here, the sign of equality holds if and only if all the n observations are equal. Now with this, let us see when we can use mean, median and mode. If the type of variable is nominal, mode is the best measure of central tendency. If the type of variable is ordinal, the best measure of central tendency is median. If we have an interval or ratio which is not skewed, mean is the right measure of central tendency, or one can say the more appropriate one. Now, if the type of variable is an interval or a ratio which is skewed, then median is the best measure of central tendency. Let us look at the application of central tendencies in forensic science. Interpretation of results from previous testing performed by forensic scientists becomes easier using statistical techniques. Measures of central tendency such as mean, mode and median are termed under descriptive statistics, which simply presents a general picture of the scores in a given group. It helps in summarizing what already exists in a given population, like gender of a victim, male, female, hair color, degree or severity of burn injury on a victim, first, second, third or fourth degree, etc. It is a tool to search an intelligent judgment. For example, if a research study have been conducted that included male and female participants, and one of the variables to be measured was depression scores using questionnaire measure of depression, in this case we can calculate several measures of central tendency. A measure of central tendency for the depression scores of all the participants, a measure of central tendency for depression scores of males or females.
Summary. The term central tendency refers to the middle value or the center value and is measured by mean, median and mode. The mean or average is the most popular and well-known measure of central tendency. It can be used with both discrete and continuous data, although it is used most often with continuous data. The mean is equal to the sum of all the values in the data set divided by the number of values in the data set. The mean is essentially a model of your data set. It is the value that is most common. The mean is not often one of the actual values that you have observed in your data set. One of the mean's important properties is that it minimizes error in the prediction of any one value in your data set. That is, it is the value that produces the lowest amount of errors from all other values in the data set. An important property of the mean is that it includes every value in your data set as part of the calculation. In addition, the mean is the only measure of central tendency where the sum of the observations of each value from the mean is always 0. The median is the middle score for a set of data that has been arranged in order of magnitude. The median is less affected by the outliers and skewed data. The mode is the most frequent score in our data set. The mode is used for categorical data. There can often be a best measure of central tendency with regard to the data you are analyzing, but there is no one best measure of central tendency because whether you use the median, mean or mode will depend on the type of data you have, such as nominal or continuous data, whether your data has outliers and or is skewed, and what you are trying to show from your data.